What's poppin', people? Venusaur's back. All right, baby, it's comeback season for my boy Venusaur, thanks to leafeon. Let's go ahead and get into the deck list. It's out of order because of full arts, but whatever. 2 Bulbasaurs, 2 Ivysaurs, 2 Venusaur EX, 2 leafeon EX, 2 Eevees, 2 Potions, 2 Pokeballs, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Ericas, and 2 Leaf. We'll get into the game. It's pretty straightforward. It's Venusaur, but faster. All right, game number 1. We'll see what happens. We're gonna go first, which, I mean, with this deck, I guess it's kind of okay. Sometimes it's not that great, but it's all right. I would have preferred to go second, as always, because we would have the advantage with the energies, but I think we will be just fine. Especially because this appears to be a fighting type deck. I don't know what it will entail, but at least for now, it doesn't appear to be one of our weaknesses, which is fire, and that's our only weakness. We do get a second Eevee, which is pretty great, and we have Leafeon in hand for next turn. It's just kind of unfortunate that we aren't going to have that energy setup. That would be pretty optimal. Being able to go for 70 damage turn 2 would be kind of crazy. So it kind of sucks that we can't do that, but hopefully it'll all work out. Eevee's going to take a massive chunk of damage from that, and we're going to counteract that by evolving it, hopefully living for a little bit. I think I'm actually going to use an Erica on it to make sure that it's capped off very well, and then I'm going to start setting up Leafeon first, and then after that, obviously, we'll set up the Bulbasaur as well. I'm going to drop one on Bulbasaur for this turn, though. Next turn, I'll be able to go in full swing with Leafeon. The premise of the deck, obviously, is just a faster Venusaur. Venusaur by itself is really good if you can get it set up, but the problem with it really early on was that it was impossible to set up. Now, we don't really have that problem. I'm trying to think here what Venusaur or what Ivysaur... Does Ivysaur do enough damage to kill? I don't think they do. I'm just going to go into the Eevee. Actually, I'm going to go into the Bulbasaur just in the event that they evolve. I don't want my Eevee to die. But in this case, the Bulbasaur will take 20 damage. We can use Leaf to get it out on the next turn. Kind of sucks that we have to use Leaf to switch him out. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Razor Leaf does. It would do enough to kill, but we don't have the energy for it just yet, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and heal up. And then I think we're just going to kill the Riolu and win. There's no point in us doing anything that we're doing right now. But might as well just play the way that we always would. We'll go ahead and retreat into Leafeon, and then we'll just go ahead and set up and use an energy and knock them out and win. Pretty unfortunate first game for them, I won't lie. I'm surprised that they just haven't conceded yet. But we're just gonna go in for the solar beam, kill it, win, and we'll quickly move on to the next game. Yeah, let's just do that now. Those kinds of games are always unfortunate. We got game 2. We are going second, so are we gonna have our optimal setup? We don't lead with an Eevee though. Oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate for us. All right, let's go ahead and start. Let's see if we pull into an Eevee. If we do, I don't have to use research, and I can just leaf into the Eevee and start setting up. Because if there's one thing we need to do against Articuno, it is set up quickly. This thing can get annoying and out of hand, especially since they're running Froakie as well. This is kind of like an OG deck. I wonder if they're running like new variations of it, or if this is just actually like the OG Articuno Greninja. I almost said Grookey. I just mixed the two together, which is funnily enough just Grookey, which is another starter, just, a grass one instead of a water. We are going to get an Eevee, so I'm not going to have to use the Professor's Research. I'm just going to go ahead and use a Leaf here, which is, it's a little bit of a waste, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Once we have the board set up, Eevee, or in our case, Leafeon, will be able to ramp and ramp and ramp and ramp and ramp. So I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem here. We're going to go ahead and use Tackle. It's going to do a measly 20 damage. Nothing to fear on their side of the field. But next turn, we're going to go for Professor's Research. After we get the Leafeon down, we'll be able to swing in for 70. And hopefully, I swear to God, if you get more than one coin flip on this, I'm going to scream. Thank you. Okay, they can't do anything this turn. That's perfect. That would have really sucked. That definitely would have set us back. Let's go ahead and evolve, attach an energy, and then we can ramp up as well. We'll go ahead and use the Professor's Research and just see what we can make happen here, people. Just see what we can make happen here, people. We are going to get an Ivysaur, so we can go ahead and just drop that immediately as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and Force Breath onto the Leafeon, of course, so we can just get the damage going. Next turn, we'll be able to ramp up the Ivysaur, have that set up in 2 turns. Hopefully by then, we'll have a Venusaur. But yeah, I'm really liking this deck. I've only used it a couple times before recording the video. It's actually really funny. The last video that we made was the Arceus meta deck, and how it just is so aggressive and it just wins nonstop. The game that I played before I came down here to record, which, by the way, I apologize if my commentary is kind of like out the window. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to do like 3.5 hours of overtime before I clocked into my actual shift at work. So I am tired, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let's go ahead and just double potion, get ourselves back up to full HP, because we can do that. They conceded. Okay, cool. We'll get into game 3. Yeah, I was saying something, but it doesn't matter. So we'll just get into game 3. Okay, game 3. And what I was saying before, I will continue because it was funny. One of the games that I finished, and then I was like, all right, I'm just going to come down and record. This is such a weird hand. What? This is such a weird hand. I really hope we draw into literally anything, because this is not good for us right now. Okay. This is gonna be okay. I don't know how this one is gonna go. If I'm being honest, I really don't know. This could go really well, it could go really bad. I do not know. What I need to happen is I need them to attach an energy, and I need them to not land more than 3 heads. And optimally speaking, they'll land 0 like I always do. I refuse to use this Eevee, by the way. My luck, and I guess that's just, you know, it's just a coin flip. It's a 50-50, but I feel like 50% of the times I hit tails, 100% of the times. Like, or 100% of the time I hit tails. Whatever the joke is or whatever, just hit tails and prove my point, please. Just do it for me. Do it for me. Do it for the content. Do it for me. You don't want to kill me right now, Eevee. Are you kidding me? Okay, at least it was just 1. Anytime I use this Eevee, I always get 0. And I would rather have a guaranteed 20 damage than a guaranteed nothing. So that's been my mindset. That's been my mindset with this with like Eevee. I would much rather play optimally than have it be like luck based, if that makes sense. And I mean, saying that it's luck based is, you know, whatever. But I just oh well, that's just GG. Oh well, that's just GG. You just win. Good job. We'll move on to the next game. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. I should have, but I wasn't expecting that. I literally made a video on that, so I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, but I wasn't. So let's get into game 4, I guess. I don't really know what number this is, but that was anyways. All right, game number 4. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go first. Not optimal, but I guess we're just gonna see what goes down. We already have a bad hand. This is not working out for us right now, guys. This is not working out for us right now. The only thing that can make it better is that I, 1, get an Eevee off the Pokeball, and 2, draw a Leaf right here, which I didn't. So we're not going to be able to do any optimal retreating. I'm so tired of seeing the deck that I'm facing right now. I'm so tired of it, chat. I'm so tired of it. I know I'm not live streaming right now, and the chat is not really the chat. It's the comment section. But guys, I'm so tired of going against this deck. You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea how tired I am of going up against this Druddigan, Darkrai, Greninja Stall. I have not used it since I made the video on it. They conceded. Biggest plot twist of the century. This video is full of weird games. Let's go ahead and get into the 5th one. I don't even think I've done a video with 5 games aside from the auto decks, but let's get into a 5th game. What is happening? All right, game number 5, I think. Let me look at the record. Yeah, game number 5. I won't lie. Wow, actually an okay start. Not perfect, not necessarily ideal depending on what we draw, but not a bad one. We at least get to start with Eevee and get it set up. I won't lie, this is technically game 6. I did have a game in between this where I lost. I'm just want to be transparent with y'all. I lost the last game, but I could not put it in because I don't know what happened. The software that I'm using is very laggy in the last gameplay, which it never is. It is if I run too many softwares on my computer, but right now I'm just using AirPlay, and I'm just using OBS to record, so it shouldn't be lagging the way that it was. And ironically enough, we're going up against the exact same deck because it was the Arceus deck in the last one. The footage was just too bad. Like I could not include it. It was at like 3 FPS. So I apologize for cutting a game, but I did lose. It was a close one, but I lost. They just happened to have the potion when they needed it. They got out of range from me killing them, and that's just all they wrote. So that's really all there is to it. Hopefully we have, I mean, for continuity's sake, maybe we'll have the same luck this game and be screwed just as much. Hopefully we're not, but yeah, you know, I mean, they actually have the advantage right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they win. Typically with the Arceus deck, if you go second, you just win. If you have that advantage with the energy on Dialga and you set up Arceus just that much faster, that's just GG. It's just game over. There's no reason for us to use anything either, so I'm not going to set up the Eevee just yet. I'm going to pass. There's no reason for me to put any energies on the Eevee right now. This is literally how the last game went, by the way. Could not draw on the Leafeon. Tried to build up the Ivysaur on the bench while the Dialga inevitably just takes out the Eevee. As well as probably the second Eevee or the second Bulbasaur. I'm just going to try to set up the Ivysaur, make it live as long as I can, and get it to the point where it can do something as a Venusaur. Really unfortunate draws, though, I won't lie. We have both potions in hand, just like the last one. Let's just go ahead and set up the Ivysaur again. We'll go ahead. Actually, you know what? I'll let this Eevee fall. I'll just let this Eevee fall. Because I would much rather just let this one fall and have one to back up with than to waste a potion that I'm going to eventually need on my future Venusaur. So we'll just see what happens here. They're just going to go for Metallic Turbo, fully set up the Arceus, take out the Eevee. I'm going to go into my second Bulbasaur and see if, see if luck is on my side and I draw into something that I can actually use. I would just much rather get rid of this Bulbasaur than get rid of a Leafeon. It is going to be able to live. Actually, it's not, because, you know, Dialga is going to be able to use its 100 damage move on the next turn. But I might as well use it when I can. So we'll just pass. This is literally how the last game went. Like quite literally how the last game went. So it's kind of funny that it happened and I couldn't post it because the footage was just awful. And now I'm just going to be able to keep it in regardless. So that's good for me. Interesting play, kind of unnecessary, the way that they just did that. Maybe not, but I mean, I guess they just wanted that one on the Shaman. I really need to draw into I really need to draw into Venusaur right now, or we just lose. Okay, all right, well, I mean, at least I've got the Venusaur. That's good. This is quite literally exactly how the last game went. I drew into Venusaur exactly when I needed to. I didn't have any other board state set up otherwise. 2 Pokemon died before Venusaur even hit the field. I've got both potions, both Ericas in my hand. This is quite literally, like, if the other match was a defined word in the dictionary, this match is the definition of that defined word. Except for they didn't use a Sabrina before, and they didn't win that quickly, so that sucks. Yeah, maybe it isn't comeback season for Venusaur with this current meta. I guess it still kind of sucks, which really sucks because I fucking love Venusaur. Sorry for the language again, but I love Venusaur. Yeah, let's do one more and hope that 1, it doesn't lag, 2, it's a good game. I want to end on a good note with this one. All right, last game. I'm not gonna lie, chat, comment section, viewers, I'm pretty disappointed. I won't lie. I will say this one looks like we've finally got a decent setup. We're leading with Eevee Leafeon. We're going second, so turn 2 we'll be able to go for like Solar Beam and deal some actual damage. But I am not gonna lie. I was going into this video thinking, hey, maybe Venusaur is better. And to be fair, I built this deck relatively quickly. I didn't playtest it too much, and I haven't really swapped any cards out since I initially made the deck. But I'm unfortunately growing deeper and deeper under the assumption that decks that rely on 2-stage evolutions are destined to fail. Not in all cases, obviously, there are some that are good. But in most cases, I feel like the multi-stage EXs, at least from my side, they get played way less. There's way more variability and like room for error, which I'm not a fan of personally. It really does suck because Venusaur is like one of my favorite Pokemon ever. Like easily one of my favorite Pokemon. If like my favorite starter, hands down, probably within my top 5 Pokemon of all time. I just love Venusaur so much. And sure, it's probably nostalgic based because I grew up playing the games and it was my like first starter and whatever. And I like loved the games growing up and whatever. So sure, it's probably biased, but it just really sucks seeing, and maybe it is just this one in specific. Maybe it is just this one specifically because it's just so slow. But it is so unfortunate to see that even with ramp potential, and I didn't play test the Venusaur with I didn't play test Venusaur with the superior line, so maybe that increases it, maybe that makes it better. But the problem with these decks, this one specifically being Venusaur, is that Venusaur takes so long to set up. And if you have to set it up faster or you want to set it up faster, you rely on a bunch of other components that also take time to set up. So sure, in this case, the leafeon can hold its ground when it's set up. But if you don't get it set up, you're screwed. You're actually just out of luck, which really does suck. On this next turn, I'm going to go for Erica, evolve into Venusaur, obviously, and start setting up. I don't really think I need to talk through these motions now that we have it set up and we're a couple of games into this. Let's go ahead and Erica on Leafeon. We'll potion on Leafeon as well, just to get it up as most that we can. And then we're just going to start setting up the Venusaur and hopefully getting it all ready to go. Let's go ahead and Forest Breath on a Venusaur as well. Venusaur will be fully set up on the next one. So you know what? We're going off on a banger, I think. This is going to be like the game that shows the potential of this deck. And my iPad is dwindling on its health, on its life. I started this video at 60% and I'm at 16 now. My iPad, I don't know if it's because I never used it up until now. I'm not sure, but it maybe I should just turn its brightness down, honestly. Maybe I'm just being stupid. I don't know, but my battery dies so quickly on my iPad if it's not plugged in for obvious reasons. But it dies so quickly and it is so unfortunate. And it also, I won't lie, is kind of unfortunate how long this video is in terms of like gameplay and time invested, because my lunch break is almost over and I gotta rush upstairs and go back to work. But anyway, it's just unfortunate that this deck isn't as good as it could be. And there's obviously things that I can switch out and make it better. I'm sure that there are other cards that I'm not considering right now. Like I don't run any Sabrina or any Cyrus. I don't run them. Not because I don't want to, but because part of me is just like, is it really needed? Is it really needed? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. They did just take us out there, which kind of sucks. We're going to go into Venusaur here. I'm not going to attach any more energies. We're going to be able to do 100 damage and heal 30 back. Maybe I can draw into another thing that can heal as well, but they've got 70 plus 80, 150. So we can live one hit and they can't live 2 hits. So we'll go ahead and just use Giant Bloom here. We should still be a-okay. The only thing, of course, is if they run Double Potion right now. And if they use Double Potion right now, you know what? I'm just out of luck today. I used up all of my luck in elsewhere. I don't really know where else it could have been used, but all right, so they've got okay, so they're at 90. Are they going to pop 1 potion? Please don't pop a potion. Okay, thank you. They didn't pop a potion. So 150, we are going to come in here and just take the game. We're going to win this one at least. Let's go for, they conceded, so they didn't even want me to win, but we'll just go ahead and wrap up the video there. It just sucks that this deck isn't as good as it could be, and I'll leave it at that. All right, that's the deck. I know there's probably some things that could be changed. I did build it haphazardly based off of just Leafeon being Leafeon. So I'm sure there's other cards that I could have introduced to the deck, like Pokemon Communication, I guess, could have been a good filter. Maybe having Cyrus or Sabrina in there, maybe just as like one-offs, could have been nice. But I think the problem with these decks is that, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, I'm kind of out of it. Like I said, I woke up at 5 this morning, so I've already been like up and about for a handful of hours, and I'm in the middle of my workday. But I feel like decks that take time to set up just aren't worth playing, which is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because, yes, obviously, Pokemon TCG Pocket is the fast-paced version of the physical TCG. That's just what it is. It is, and that's what its intent was. Literally just based off the structure of the game itself. You know, no energy cards in your deck, 20 card max, 2 card max on cards. It definitely is meant to be quicker paced, and for me, it's slowly just starting to feel like Venusaur is too physical TCG based. It's not built for this game. If that makes any sense. Sure, you can run Superior, but you're going to run into very similar problems that we did with this deck in this video, in which you're not going to be able to draw the cards that you need. You're not going to. There's too many variables that are input with that situation. Cards like Leafeon are good because they only evolve one time. It's Eevee, Leafeon. It's not Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, because you have to rely on your search cards to get it. You have to rely on your RNG to draw it. And if you don't draw it early, you draw it too late, and it's not going to be impactful. Sure, we ended up winning this one, but it was because we were able to set it up early and get it ready to go the way that we needed to. It's just really unfortunate. Like I said, Venusaur is like my favorite starter and one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So I really want this deck to work. If any of you guys have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. I'll make another video if I think that it's worthy of another one, but unfortunately, I just don't think that this deck is worth anybody's time, which really sucks to say, because I love Venusaur so much. But with that being said, I guess I'll just get up out. Like if you do sub if you're new, but I'm out. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video where we don't use this deck. Peace out. So unfortunate, man. I just love Venusaur.